How many DNFs does Old Ghost get? It's got to have the lowest DNF rate of any 80k plus race in the world. I'm saying
Whoa,
that's a big call, right? I've got absolutely no evidence to back that up. But my theory being that because it is such a difficult race to get evacuated from, in other words, everybody who starts that race knows that really they got to finish. It's got to take something terrible to happen to you for you to be evacuated out of there. So as a result, their DNF rate is next to zero. 1 or 2 people, isn't it? It's bugger all, right? It's absolutely bugger all people.
Low. Yeah.
And I think it's that mentality. If you go if you go into a race thinking, sorry, I'm ranting. Hey, what? Yeah, I'm back. UTMB.
And it's good to have you back. To Church Radio. AidStation podcast. I'm Matt Raymond. We've been recording this whole time, by the way.
Sorry.
I'm Ali Pottinger.
Hi,
And
I'm
you're...
Andrew. I'm Andrew, and I'm going to be quiet now.
What?
No, it's amazing. I love that. It's great. You're back. Hell yeah. And, I was talking about this last week when you weren't here, and I was thinking about the Tussock Traverse, and one of the things that I liked the most about the Tussock Traverse was the fact that there were no aid stations. I really liked that.
Sorry, were there none at all? How far?
None. 32. So not insurmountable, but rocky, volcanic terrain. It wasn't, Freeman's Bay loops. It was enough, there was enough sort of, there was enough buggery that,
How long did it take you?
2.5 hours. No, it took me, what did I do it in?
Bro.
4:50 out of them.
So hang on. No aid stations for 5 hours.
Yeah.
And
all my own stuff.
What about water? You got to carry 5 hours of water?
I had, what did I have? I had 2 800ml flasks at the front, and I had a 500ml at the back.
And that was it? You were fine?
Yep.
And how long did the longest person take? Do you know?
A lot longer than that.
That seems
I don't even know.
rough.
It's rough, but I loved it. And that's the thing.
No, I mean,
isn't it?
if you take 8 hours, you got to carry 8 hours of fluid? That's a lot.
Yeah.
That seems mean.
But it's that thing, isn't it? It's the thing. It's like if you know that you got to be self-sufficient.
Yes. Yeah, look, I do think there is something to be said for, this is not at all what I wanted to rant about tonight, but there's something to be said for making things a little bit harder and making you as an individual more responsible for your own actions and your own planning. And if you know that there's going to be an aid station every 6-7 Ks, I said 6-7, damn it, every 7 or 8 Ks, then you're going to have a very different approach to knowing that you're going to be running 33 Ks without any aid station at all. The longest I ever had to do was a Great Southern Endurance run out in Victoria there, where I think, and I was moving well, me and my mate Tom Hunt, we did I think it was about 11 hours between aid stations in the middle of nowhere.
That's a long time.
It was so long. In a thunderstorm, I had I think 3 litres of water on me, and you're ticking off the Ks so slowly that it's so far between the aid stations, and you make it last. You're like, okay, I've got to ration this, and you drag that 3 litres through the entire time. At least it was nighttime, it was cold, you weren't roasting, but there's something to be said for doing things the hard way sometimes.
Speaking of, and it's great to have you back, and we're all back together, and that's exciting. We've got some stuff on the docket to talk about tonight, and that's a great segue. You put your first thing. I'd like to call up the little bingo roller of Dirt Church Radio AidStation, pulling out the first thing, knowing when you're not ready to race, making hard decisions. I guess that really counts into the accountability bucket, doesn't it?
I think so. Yes. It's been a rough year, and that's about all I need to say about that. But I'm supposed to be running next month the Asia Oceania 24-hour champs in Japan, something I was greatly looking forward to. But I had a couple of things not really work out. The race itself, Northburn, I ran a few weeks ago, very difficult, just made me sort of realise that I'm not at 100%. But then I got what I believe was cryptosporidium. I drank from water that really didn't work out very well for me. I spent nearly 2 weeks basically flat on my back or on the toilet, and it set me back massively, and I'm still really, really struggling. I ran 22 Ks with John and a couple of mates on Saturday, and normally what would have been a relatively straightforward run out in Riverhead, it was a bit of a nightmare really, and left me just. I went home and fell asleep. Like I was wrecked, and it shouldn't have been that hard.
It's not like you. Yeah.
I let the guys go, and it's enough to make you realise that going on a trip like that, no matter how much you want to go. I've never been to Japan. It was something I was greatly looking forward to, and obviously representing New Zealand is a huge honour, and not something I take lightly, which perhaps is one of the reasons why you look at it and you sort of go, why are you going? Are you ready to go? Are you going to put in a good performance? Are you going to represent yourself and your country? And is it the right thing to be doing for you right now? And the answer was no to everything, and that sucks. It sucks to you don't get these opportunities often in life. So to have something, I mean, my flights are booked and everything, to have something that close and to have to realize and take a step back and go, I'm not ready to do this, was not easy at all. The only, I suppose, positive was that when I finally did make that call, I felt nothing but relief, realising it was the right thing to do. That doesn't mean I'm happy about it, but there will be other races, there will be other opportunities. I remain positive, but right now, running can be a little tough sometimes. We're not invincible.
No. And I think that, well, first off, congratulations on making a hard decision, but oftentimes those, like you say, when you make a decision like that, immediately when it's the right decision. I recently, I turned down a job, got a job, what I thought was my dream job, like pinnacle of career, amazing, and made the decision to turn it down, and turned it down for, lots of reasons, but same thing, that kind of flood, and it's certainly not representing your country or anything like that, but that flood of relief when I did so, I was like, oh, your body tells you, if you're on the fence about something, or if there's a scintilla of kind of regret or challenge there.
Yeah, I still think the team, of course, will do well. I will obviously follow along and do my best to stay positive about it all. I'm in this weird situation where it's one of the very rare times I have, as a result of not going, on 0 races on my calendar.
Whoa, Andrew.
Which never happens.
Are you okay? I feel
No,
like
I'm not particularly happy about it. No, I'm not particularly okay about it.
Yeah.
Blue Lake?
Sure. I mean, it'd be nice to do Blue Lake, but that's a decision you can make a day before.
To be fair to you, also would have been quite punishing as a vegan to be in Japan, one would have thought.
Yeah. Yes, the world's most
non-vegan
vegan country. Yes, probably a lot of vegan muesli bars in the bag would have been packed, but you work it out. That certainly wasn't a factor, but it would have been challenging for sure. Yeah.
Ellie, gosh, hard decisions, they're challenging.
They are. But you know what? Like, it's life. We can't go through life without having hard things thrown our way or making tough decisions. And ultimately, it's just going with what feels right for you and, what makes the most sense going forward. So I think, I often will say to people, when you're weighing something up, going, will this help or hinder me? And that can kind of be applied universally, really. And I mean, Andrew, obviously you've got some recovery still to do. If you're saying that you've got, did your 22K run and basically died.
When did you
not even close?
I need to hear this, and this isn't. There's no pejorative. I need to let you. When did you kiss them goodbye? Did you do a DCMF and plus something or what? I need to know.
Sorry, you're saying the guys I was running with, when did I tell them to go ahead? They waited us several times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're very good lads.
They are good lads.
It's like every hill I hit was like hitting the Dawn Wall, you know.
So I'm guessing like that.
It was like
they
holy.
waited they waited on the way to the trig. They waited down there. They waited.
It wasn't quite a DCMF. It was a slight variation.
Yeah.
But they I think with about 3 or 4K to go, that just I'll see it at the car park.
Right.
But
the elastic
but
band had snapped.
oh yeah, I mean, that's totally fair enough. But both of them, Ant and Jono, were making running look very easy by comparison.
And this kind of goes into a topic that we've got lower down, right? And that's the thing, isn't it? Like for the majority of human beings, certainly that listen to this podcast, that's something that you do quite often.
Oh, you mean
make running look easy?
Sometimes. Maybe that's why it's so annoying, is because it normally is. And you're watching a couple of guys chatting away, just disappearing up a hill, and you're like, shit. Oh, this isn't pleasant at all. Yeah. Maybe it's my realization how much of a prick I've been in the last 10 years running away from people trying to run over there.
Dude,
sorry, guys. Sorry.
It's never, like, having been in some group runs with you in the past and you've been off the front, it's never come across like you being a prick. It's just come across that you're on another level. So, yeah. No worries. What you've written down here is $30 for a pacer taking the piss. Now, what is
this
the pay?
for?
Is this like a Craigslist for pacers? Is the pacer like, hey, $30? Is it $1 per k? What do we look?
Look,
go.
It's
Tee
my
off on
first.
this.
It's my first day back. I don't want to get into too much trouble again, but
Tee off.
because I want to encourage races in New Zealand, and I especially want to encourage 100-mile races. So I don't want to come across as a negative prick, and I actually really want to do this race, right? We're talking about the fault line, which is coming up. Is it this weekend?
Yes.
Or next? This is very soon anyway. Maybe it's, a
2
couple of
weeks.
weekends away. Yeah, it's this month. And I was surprised to find good old Simon McLean, good buddy of mine. He is running it, and I'm excited to see how he does. He will have some fierce competition. And he was looking for some paces, and so I just looked it up just to see what the deal was, because he said he already had one, he could have another. I'm like, oh, how does that all work? So I went onto the website, and I was surprised to see that a pacer would pay $30. I mean, you're assuming here that the main athlete would pay the pacer's fee, but the justification there being, the AidStation cost of food and that sort of thing. And I thought to myself, that's a lot of jet planes. That is a lot of jet planes. Look, each to their own. They can do what they like, and if people don't like it, don't have a pacer. No one's making you do this. It's the first I'd ever seen of a pacer costing money. Then someone else said that Tolpo Ultra, the pacers might have to pay, but I haven't actually looked that up.
I mean, I think it depends on where you're running, but you've got another person to look after for starters. So, if anything goes wrong with a pacer, you're still going to need health and safety for them as well. You've got, depending on the trails, you've got a concession fee, which is per person. So that person's still part of the race. So they'll need to be paying, I believe, for that as well. So that becomes part of their concession. And then you've got the aid stations, race bib. So you kind of are incurring a few different costs, even though it feels like you're there for fun. You're still kind of under that umbrella of a race, and they could be using that concession for something else.
It's very diplomatic of you, Ellie.
I'm
aiming for PM one day, Andrew, one day.
Yeah, really.
Whilst I am disappointed with my actions in the past, I must reflect that it was at a time of great turmoil for me. Do you know,
Just
and
fun.
this isn't teeing off on fault line at all, right?
No. I think it looks awesome. I really want to do it one day. Sorry.
I see the pacer as one of the great force multiplying gateway drugs into the ultra running scene. How did I fall in love with Tarawera? It was being Tago Marapara's pacer. And next year I went back and ran the bloody thing. And the year after that I went back and ran the bloody thing. And it's where it's such a learning, you learn about it. If you're new to it, you're coming to have a look, you learn, you see, you have your eyes wide open. And it's almost a ritual. It feels like that to me. Like it felt like I wouldn't go as far as to call it, I wouldn't go as far as to call it sacred, but it felt really like it was like holy, I'm engaged in this thing. I read Born to Run. This is what is. It's your first time doing it. You get to share that run. You get to see your mate. You get to do all that stuff. And I get it, gosh, with the current state of the world, things are a little bit, hoopty with the cost of living and stuff like that. But I don't know. I thought the more, it's one of those things. It's like I wonder if they drill down on some data, the amount of people who paced, say it, I don't know, something like Tarawera, and then the amount of times, what the return on investment for that would be. So, but being a pacer, it's one of the biggest joys ever, I reckon. It's so, I love it. I love being a pacer.
I don't think I've ever been one.
Have you not? Pacing and crew, I reckon.
There was that time you jumped out on all those people at Tarawera.
Oh, yeah, but that's just the last bit. That's
Just the
not
last
official.
7Ks or
That's that
something.
last. Yeah.
I
That's
reckon
great
you learn
fun.
a lot about the sport, like being involved in events from all different angles. And you can you just learn a lot more. And I think you get that real sense of being ingrained in a community.
I didn't run my first 100K with a pacer. In fact, I haven't run with a pacer ever.
You just raw dogged it.
I raw dogged it. And but I remember having done night shift quite a bit. There's this thing, and all the night shift workers out there, when the morning shift come in, right? The morning shift smell incredible.
Oh, I
right?
bet,
They all
yeah.
just come from the shower, their hairs, and you don't want to be like sniffing
You smell
them.
so good.
Yeah, it's just the back of just a kiss on the back of the neck generally. But they smell so good. And I remember running up past, God, when was it? It was around 75K and the paces were on. And I am like, everyone's running so much faster than me because they've got paces I just remember how good those paces all smelt. And that's why I couldn't go back to Tarawera for 2 years. So sniffed too many people.
Maybe I'm surprised that, of all the, hail corporate that Tarawera is, I'm surprised they're the ones that still have free paces when everyone else is starting to charge for them. Isn't that interesting? The only, and I know, again, sorry, it sounds like I'm ragging on Faultline again, but the other thing I find weird is that their cost, which is perfectly reasonable if you're early bird, $596 for a miler, peachy, right? No dramas, right? But it does say plus fee. Okay, well, what's that? Well, that's $1 plus 6% per participant. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that's
Wait, what?
that's a fixed cost, right? Like that's not a variable. That's whatever that is, $1 plus 6%. Why are we not just including that in the actual price? Like that seems a bit underhanded. So I saw that at the same time as the pacer fee, which incidentally is also $30 plus $1 plus 6%. So it's actually not $30. It's whatever the hell that works out to. It's weird. Like just put the price, guys. Like it's very American to not
So 5%
put the whole
of
price in.
5% of $30 is like $7.50.
Is it? No. No, that
is
sounds
it?
like a lot.
I don't know.
I don't want to do that maths.
$3.07. I can't do it.
6% is a weird maths number. But like the fee is $1 plus 6%. So like $1, just put the $1 in the number. Like what? What are you
I
doing?
reckon it's a marketing strategy. They're like, let's get people talking.
Well, yeah. They've got me talking,
Chapeau,
but
you
not-
have.
Like what's 718 plus 6%? I'm sure someone can be bothered working that out.
So
it's
it's
a lot.
6% of 30 is $1.80. It's not $7.50. That's like 35
Oh,
cents.
you're
Like,
going pretty big.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But my brain at the bed, we've established this over the course of the Dirt Church Radio Law that I am terrible at maths. 6% of 30 is $1.80. So it's an additional $2.80.
Hang on. What's $718 plus $1 plus 6%? It's $762.
Okay.
So that's a lot more than 718, 762.
Yeah.
That's what you're paying.
Another $50.
Is backyard ultra running dead, as you claim, Andrew? No, that sounds really controversial.
How dare you?
You were saying that the death of the appeal of the backyard appears to be premature. I don't reckon it's died away. He's just having a bit of a sleep. What's happening?
Okay, so to rewind mentally everything. So I don't think backyards are dead. I just felt like a bit of impetus might have been lost, but actually it doesn't seem to be the case at all. All of the backyards are doing extremely well around New Zealand. We just had that. Oh, see, do your research, Andrew. We just had that one out near Greymouth. Oh,
Yeah,
what was
there's
it
one
called?
on the West Coast, wasn't it? I can't remember what it was called now.
And yes, we just had the Carousel Backyard, which I believe is basically running around Alexandra Airport or Airfield. Is it grass? I don't know. Brian Matthews and me mate Kieran Phillip absolutely slugging it out into the 50s. And Kieran just won in 55 or something laps, somewhere around there. I want to say 55. I love how, as of this recording, he still calls it a morning run on Strava.
Gold.
379.9 kilometres morning run.
Kieran's a legend, eh? He's very much like yourself. He sort of
He's way cooler than me, man. He's like,
took shine to running and then got really good at it.
he's just such a dude. I mean, he takes me in every year for Northburn, and his family's amazing, and they're just absolutely wonderful people. So shout out, Kieran. Well done. Congratulations. And I believe 55 should get him on the satellite team, which I believe was his goal. So that is super cool. Respect
To the pedagogues. I know that Backyard, Dead Cow finished up at 29 laps.
Really?
Yeah. But there was a big
Spain?
one. Yeah.
Wild West Backyard is the one that was.
That's
on
the
West
big one, eh?
Coast.
That's out. I'm not sure if that's still going, but
No,
they
so
were-
it
they were out
finished. So that
over
was
6.
Jason.
Yeah, Wild West
Sweeney,
is done.
39 laps.
Yeah. And there was
Yeah.
like a proper prize too. Like
Yeah, grand, I think.
$1,000, eh?
Yeah, and
I mean,
grand
that's
for the
bloody.
last woman as well. So I think it was.
How good is that?
Yeah.
Have you got a name for me? I can't believe I can't remember. I'm so
Morgan
embarrassed.
Lowe.
No,
Sarah
the
Cairns was
organiser.
up there as well, who was on the potty for Old Ghost.
Andrew from the future here. Sorry, Maggie Forsyth. I'm sorry I couldn't remember your name. I don't know why, but there you go. Sometimes the brain doesn't work quite right. Congratulations on your first successful event running of the backyard. Woo!
It's interesting, isn't it, when things kind of become, I think we're at that point where backyard racing is so normalised. It's such an expected thing, and people still kind of show up and do amazing things. Like Kings is coming up. That's the next kind of big one. We just had Relapse, which was, of course, the inaugural one in New Zealand. Yeah, it's cool as, and it's nice to see that, you know, it's still as
There's
popular
less
as ever.
there's less shirts.
Yeah.
Is
yeah,
there?
there's less
That's a thing.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
they run
that's a thing.
shirtless more?
There's lots of...
It's definitely
yeah,
a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's lots of... It's very dude sphere. But
Yeah.
I know from my very limited, you know, I've not been to one, like Sean's very good at...
He's good crowds. It's
Good
great.
crowds.
So
I
no,
mean,
it's going strong.
The other thing to like about it is that they're bloody everywhere. So people don't actually have to travel really
Absolutely.
far for an event, which is great as well.
Yeah, I really like that.
And you know, I've got to say, like, a lot of the results have been in the sort of 30s, maybe 40s lately,
Mm-hmm.
and I can get my head around that. Like, that's okay, cool, day and a half, yeah, cool, that sounds fun. Obviously, the one we just had, Carousel, was 55, but I know that that's what Kieran wanted. So I wonder if he was dragging Brian along and saying, "Mate, please, I want to get to 55. Come on, mate." Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't there, but it's possible.
Yeah, the thought of like 110 blood, that's just... It's a long time. It's a long time to be doing anything, really, isn't it? Speaking of, it's a long time to do anything. I like this one. Ellie, this is yours. Mental strategies that we utilise in both running and life. You want to tee off on
Yeah.
that one?
Well, I mean, I've been going through some challenging times myself this year. And
You know.
Wait, hang on. You mean you
Just a
didn't
little.
not do a race or didn't accept a job? Come on.
But and you know, like, I think that there has been a lot of mental strategies that I've used in the past for running and kind of talked about that I have been utilizing in my day-to-day life recently. And I thought it's probably quite good to kind of talk about some of the things that we are finding helpful or have found helpful, because they might help people in their day-to-day life or with their running. So I thought just some of the ones that I've been remembering is, you know, like just sitting with a feeling and going that it's not going to be forever. Like this might be a tough moment or a tough day, but hopefully tomorrow is going to be a bit better. Another one is that, radical acceptance, just going, like I might be feeling a certain way, but, it's okay, or it will be okay. And thinking about circles of influence, so things that you can control versus the things that you can't control. And so like in the middle, there's kind of you with the things that you can act upon. And then on the outer circle, it's all the other things that you can't control. So it's just remembering, that's not actually in my scope. So can't really do much about that. And, just kind of thinking about what you can do in this moment. So like for me, there's been a lot of trying to self-regulate and using music or exercise or something like that to kind of to bring that better energy. So that's something as well that you can do when you're running is to go, well, what can I do in this moment to help me get the best out of myself, or to kind of try and feel a certain way. What about you guys? Is there anything that you guys use both in running or when things are tough in a day?
It's funny, and my whole day is mental strategies to survive. Like my everyday, like I text you about what my day was like on Friday.
Oh yeah. I get the tough moments from Matt. Yep.
It was a 13-hour and what you could only describe as a rager.
That makes it sound fun, Matt.
It was fun, and that's the thing. It's that notion of it's that controlling what you can control. Mm-hmm. And I have so I don't use a mantra in running. I'm terrible at running strategies. Oh, I'm terrible at it. Oh my God, just the worst. Just like kicking, like Andrew, just like he's just kicking rocks and wanting to quit every 90 seconds for however long the race is until the race finishes. That's generally that's my strategy. Just go, oh, I hate this sucks. Oh yeah, that's a nice rock. I hate this sucks. Oh, look at that cloud. Not to be like, what we talked about before. I'm also focusing on performance and, you can do this. I do have a mantra for my work or it's an acronym. It's CHASM or chasm. Chasm, not sure.
Okay.
And I did a lot of work with a guy who was I had a supervisor, and he was like he was a business mentor essentially for my job, and it was Steve Magnus talks a lot about this around the three essential components of effective kind of either teamwork or effective performance, and that's a feeling of autonomy, a feeling of mastery, and a feeling that you're in it for something bigger than yourself. So mine is connected, heard, effective, safe, and masterful. And I know that sounds super corporate, but that's when I'm at work and I'm paid to be at work and I'm paid to be on the clock and performing. That's what's going around my head all the time. Am I connected to other people? Am I being heard? Am I autonomous? Am I safe? And am I being masterful? And if I can either fake it till I make it or get through, that's what I use. It's an interesting one. Now, you won't find that on my LinkedIn profile because I'm not on LinkedIn. But yeah, I found coming up with something as well, like little visual prompts for me are really good. So I'll write stuff on Post-it notes, stick it on my computer, Another one I have is dependable, predictable, consistent. I've got to be the same, and you can apply that to running. You have to be the same turning up all the time, like no matter how you feel, no matter how shitty your race is going, how amazing it's being. You've got to be predictable, you've got to be consistent, you've got to be dependable. Yeah, I've just got to flip that over into my athletic life, and I'd probably be quite good. But those are two that spring to my mind. But also as well, and I think about both in my running times and my my work is just that notion of like being a bit grateful for stuff, like as like I get to do this, as tough as this is, and we're all thinking about tough times we've had in our life, tough times we've had in performance, tough times we've had at work, whatever that is, thinking like there's no one else on the planet doing exactly what I'm doing right now, which is pretty cool. Andrew?
Oh no, I'm not much of a thinker, but the
it's just Terminator robot. Just
yeah. The only thing I have in races when they get tough is this might suck, but waking up tomorrow with a DNF sucks so much more.
Yes, it
And
does.
that's what I just tell myself when I'm doing these, when I'm at the low points. I just say, look, it might suck right now, but you're still out here, you're still on course, you're still part of the race. That is 1,000 times better than waking up tomorrow with DNF and that feeling how awful it is. So that is just what I remind myself of. Just well, however you're feeling right now, generally speaking, short of something majorly wrong with you, you'll get there. You'll get there. Might take a while. It might not be your best ever result, but you will still get there. I mean, even I had a terrible race at Northburn, but I mean, it was still 8th. It's not that bad, is it?
Atrocious.
Yeah,
Get out.
right. But it wasn't so much that, it was the just how your personal journey and just how difficult it felt for like 90 Ks. It was weird though. I got to about 90 Ks and suddenly everything felt normal, and I managed to run like I normally do at Northburn for like 25 or 30 odd Ks until everything got tough again. But it was nice to have one moment in there of feeling like an athlete. Yeah, so you do have to be appreciative and grateful for a bad day for you is not that bad sometimes for everyone else.
That's what we were.
Keep it in perspective.
I remember the last Kepler I did, and it was my worst Kepler by far time-wise. I'd had gas. I remember the you said knowing when you're not ready to race. The first step I took over the start line, I was like,
Wow.
what are you doing? What are you doing? You still
Very
gas running.
relatable.
Yeah. Still having fevers. It was just like everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. Mainly by my own, 100% my own choosing. Brodie Jean Kane, who we were sort of down there with, her mum, Jo Kane, who is an absolute force of nature, she made such a kerfuffle at the Rainbow Reach aid station about how terrible I looked, like yelling, "You're green, you're green, you're green," real loud, that she alerted the aid station captain to my presence, and who I was hoping to avoid. I was like, I've got this by this point. Like, we'll just slide in and we'll slide, and I'm still hours ahead of cut off, and there's no problem with that. But what I did when I got to Iris Burn, which is halfway, and I was feeling particularly awful with myself, made a pact. They said if I had a job interview on the Tuesday for the job I have now, and I was like, if I can't finish this, like I'm going to go up for this job that I don't know if I can finish it. I don't know if I can do it. It's a challenge. It's going to test me. And if I can't finish this, I won't be able to do that job. So I'm going to withdraw from the job. So that's the pact that I made myself. I made myself a real non-negotiable contract and then thought, like you said, Andrew, even if I walk every single step from Iris Burn to the finish, which I didn't, I'm going to beat the cutoff by ages. It's not going to be that bad. And I went to my job interview with my 5-year medal tucked into my pocket.
Aww.
Not around my neck, like that. In my mouth, just like clenched.
Just assert your dominance and just put it on the table in front of
Yeah,
them.
sorry.
But
But that
fell
was a
out of my
nice little,
mouth.
that was a nice little moment. It was that thing of, it goes back to what we were talking about at the top, which may or may not make it onto the main feed. But
Very slow fade in.
sometimes you gotta draw a red line.
Yep. It's not always going to be bloody peaches and roses out there, and that's okay.
It's not. Yeah.
Right. Is there something sort of like? Can we finish on a fun, positive note?
I'm going
Sex.
to talk about bonus.
Oh, okay. Where's that?
Andrew's face.
I'm just looking. What, bonus? You didn't put it in bold.
I didn't write bonus in bold. No. What I wanted to talk about was libido, because often we don't kind of recognize its role in energy deficiency and the importance of having honest and open conversations around this. So it's something with coaching that I've had to navigate. It's a bit tricky when you're working with people that have kind of shown signs of energy deficiency, and then going, okay, let's talk about this as a measure, as a metric, going, your libido is a bit of a thermostat for your body and health and how much energy it's got going around. because low energy and high stress can impact libido. So, you hear about relative energy deficiency in sport, and usually it's kind of a case of not really fueling or eating enough for your training, and then your body needs to focus on survival first and reproduction later. So it kind of, your sex hormones change. I just thought it was something to talk about. So, things that you can look at for women, obviously our menstrual cycle is something that's a pretty good gauge as to how healthy we are. For men, it's the good old morning wood. So, that's actually, how healthy are you? If you've got it going on, that's a sign that you've got the energy there. And then obviously there's mood changes, reduced sexual interest, fatigue, and stress injuries can all be signs of relative energy deficiency in sport. But I just thought, it'd be interesting to kind of just touch on that, because we can be a bit coy or not really think about it as a measure for health.
I think this is an excellent topic. I'm intensely interested in, if I was ever going to do a research-based master's, which I'm not, because who needs that in their life? It would be around sexual dysfunction as it relates to mental health and the medicines we give and all sorts of stuff like that. But I think there's another thing that you can. I remember this one time. Again, it was Tarawera Ultramarathon, running out of Lake Aukaraka on the Cyclone Lucy year, heading up Miller Road. And the kids, all three of them, were like, "You finished. Amazing." They were wet, they were bedraggled, they were, all of that. And I was like, no, I've got to go up there. And they all started crying, and Rebecca had to load them into the people mover and I had to carry on. And look, I'm no fortune teller, but I bet that was the biggest turn on for Rebecca. The point I'm making, Andrew, I saw the puzzlement on your face.
I'm so confused.
Well, the point I'm making is we need to also approach this stuff relationally. If we're out there, no matter who the partner, and traditionally it's been more men going out, doing these races, doing the big miles, doing all this stuff. If the burden of care is falling on your partner when your training is happening and childcare and all of that, and then you come back from your, if I'm being your Boy Scout, you come back for your 10-hour walk in the woods, and then you're like curled up under a mattress, curled up under a blanket, and then, after you've recovered, had 2 beers, a second wind, and it's special time, that might not be reciprocated because other things in the family system might be out of whack, right? So it's not just about the fact you've got a boner. It's the fact that, you need to balance your training in your life. And sure, if you're going for, an Olympic trial or, a podium or something like that, right? And that's the contract that you've made and that's what you're going for. That fits into that space at the moment. But I think it needs to be realised as well that any kind of prolonged training, especially for those with young families and young families, you need to really take into account that can, whilst you might be feeling great, it might be having a little bit of it might throw your family system out of whack as well.
Yeah, the stress on the household, I guess, because it is people, I'm going to say taking the load.
Hell yeah, brother.
Beautiful turn of phrase.
Leave it in.
But it is, like there's stuff has to happen, and I'm meaning from a
my goodness.
Eugene would have
home
dropped
perspective.
dead on the spot. He just would have died if you
I'm
just
sorry,
said that,
Eugene.
taking the load.
But actually, there is that, you talked about the burden of care, and that is actually a stressor, right? Like, how are we balancing our training load with our household workload and, parenting load and all that sort of stuff? Like, I can see Andrew's just like, oh.
No, it's fine. I can't really This feels like it'd be a great interview with someone who's specifically like a professional in this topic. I think it would be very interesting. And I'm definitely not a professional. I suppose all I can say is that for training, for me, it was always about, as far as was possible, it was always family first, training second. And so that meant that any training was done for years I was running at 4:30 in the morning, so that I was back at 6 and the wife gets a coffee in bed. No, it's the perfect crime, right? No one's even knows you've gone, right? And you've got your training done, that's good. But there was always like, okay, I need one morning on a weekend when, I'm sorry, even if I start at 4 a.m., I'm still going to be going at 8 or 9, like I do have my one long morning, but I'm still making sure, like the amount of runs that I've turned down from friends saying, oh, hey, do you want to go run out west? I'm like, cool, when are you going? 9 a.m. I'm like, no, no. Like, gosh, no. Like that, I'm done. I have to be done by 9 a.m. Like you can't be starting like you lifestylers. So that's always been the way I've looked at it is minimal, always minimal impact on family. And you can do 120, 130K weeks of training and not impact on family life pretty much at all, with the exception of maybe a couple of hours in the weekend. It's totally possible. It sucks because you end up with getting less sleep. And of course that probably boils back to libido because you're exhausted all the time and things like that. But it's impossible to tick every box, I think, if you're training hard. You cannot tick every box, but you can if you try your best, if you're doing the best you can, I don't know. I felt like I've done the best I can for the last however long I've been doing this. The juggle will always be there. It's getting easier now. The kids are older. They require far less.
We can be lifestylers too.
Just about, mate. Yeah, just about.
And that's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing. You have to do a stark inventory of yourself and think, if that's what you want to do, and that's where you want to be. And there are people who, they will prioritize training over everything. That's cool. If that works in your family system or if that works in your lifestyle, awesome. Go hard, go for it. And it has to, like you say, it has to fulfill you and it has to be adaptive, eh? And I think I've certainly got into habits with training in the past where I'm like, this isn't actually I might be feeling fit, but is it helping anything? Not really. What are other things I could be doing? And I did that for years with Andrew Style as well, getting up super early and going for runs.
I don't do it so much anymore because it sucks. But
yes, it really sucks. It really sucks.
But it could be worse. We could be training for an Ironman. I think that's where it all falls apart. Is when you start throwing. As soon as you start throwing cycling into your training, that 6-hour bike ride on a Sunday, forget about it. It's
never just that's the thing. Cycling for years, it's. The myth of throwing on a pair of running shoes that's a complete fallacy. It always takes longer than just chucking on a pair of running shoes, even if you've got to, butter your muffin before you head out the door or whatever you're doing.
What's your wake up to out the door time?
I can get out in under 10 minutes.
Yeah, so that's fine. 10 minutes, boom.
But that's working for it, like my faffing around time. Like it's like 15, 20. Let's be honest. If I'm not bothered, today I was I got out. So, but yeah.
But if you're on the clock, you can do it in 10.
Everything's laid out. It's at that end of the house.
Yeah.
I know where everything is. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, easily under 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But with a bike, you can never do that. You can never.
No, well,
There's always faffing around.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm still not giving you kudos for your bike ride.
It's good to have you back, mate.
Yeah, mate, it's great to be here.
Did you give John O'Riddler kudos for his swim?
Oh, he swam around New Zealand, didn't he?
No, I don't follow him.
I did leave a comment.
I haven't, no. No, that was awesome actually, because he was doing the whole it was against massive net trawling and stuff, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And obviously, as you can imagine, as the tree hugger that I am, I'm all for that. And
look, I'm not much of a tree hugger, and I'm all for that.
Oh, come on,
net trawling's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, just leave it all alone, guys. But sorry, soapbox. No, get off your soapbox.
It's good to have you back. Dirt Church Radio is me, Matt Raymond.
Me, Ali Pottinger.
Me, Andrew McDowell. I could do a lot of editing.
Now you return to the Mac. Stay tuned for the regular DCR podcast over the upcoming weeks, and we've got some super cool guests in the bag and ready to share Matewa.